Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahweh Shah, Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahweh Shah, Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahweh Shah, Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakha Kadach. Double honors to our elders and apostles, the great millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect scattered across the four winds. This is your brother Yakar Alman from Great Millstone, Houston. And double honors to the men that taught our elders and apostles. We're getting ready to enter into some exciting times. The things that are going on in the world today, has been outlined, throughout the scriptures. But the Lord has told his prophets, what's going to go down, and gave them the true understanding of what's about to happen on the earth. All of the different prophecies are coming to fruition. You know, I just want to go over it real quick. Well, let's get it, because Esau, Edom is the end of the world. So Esau being the end of the world, all of these things have to add up. So it's okay. This is Second Esdras chapter 6 and verse 7. It says, "Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, and when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." So this right here is saying that Esau is the end of the world. I'm sure that's a Greek word, eon, which means an age, uninterrupted period or age. So Esau has had a rulership on the earth. And when Esau's rulership is over, Jacob's rulership begins. But, as it states here in Daniel chapter 2, it outlines all of the different, several of the different kingdoms. This is a dream that King Nebuchadnezzar had. So we'll start it. We'll start it right here. This is we're going to probably read through the whole chapter, but this is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 31. It says, Thou, O king, sawest and beheld a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. His image, this image's head was of fine gold, his breasts and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. Okay, so Daniel's telling him, the dream that he had and the interpretation of the dream. So we already understand that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that followeth. So it says, this is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 35. It says, "Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of a summer threshing floor, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth." Okay, this great mountain means a government, a rulership. So this image, the stone, the head of the corner, is Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah is that stone. And it says, this is Daniel chapter 20, Daniel chapter 2 and verse 36. It says, "The interpretation of Babylon, the first kingdom. He said, this is Daniel 2:36. It says, this is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the Most High of heaven have given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of heaven have he given into thine hand, and have made thee ruler over them. Thou art this head of gold. So the head of gold was Babylon. Babylon was the head of gold. And it says, and after, this is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 39, and it says, after these shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. So the shoulders of silver, let's go back, the shoulders of silver, this is the head of fine gold, which was the Babylonian kingdom. Then its breasts and its arms of silver was the Medo-Persian empire, and his belly and his thighs of brass, that's the Greek empire. And then, okay, let's jump back down. And the fourth kingdom, which shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. This is the Roman uh, rulership, or empire, the Roman Empire. And then the feet, it says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of strength, the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. So this is the iron, the toes, the 10 toes is NATO and the EU, and along with America. You know, this is that kingdom, that revised Roman Empire, that's, you know, alliances, but it's partly divided. And we can see how that's playing along in the earth as it stands right now. And it says, and as the toes and the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And that's NATO and the EU. And it says, along with America. And it says, and whereas thou saw iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. It says, this is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 44, but this is the point. And it says, and in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And that kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all the kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. So Jacob's kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, because we know that Esau is the end of the world, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that followeth. So the Most High is going to set up a kingdom, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. So that has to match. So the last kingdom, which is the toes and the toes of iron and clay. So this has to be Esau Edom. This has to be Esau Edom. So, and we can see that Esau Edom is the curses are turning on him, you know, because of the things that are going on in the world today. You know, this is uh this is Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7. It says, "And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee." So right now there's a transition of power because we're getting ready to come into Jacob's trouble, but Jacob's going to be saved out of it. But this is the time that we're in. We're in the feet and toes. We're in the feet and toes, and we're telling you, the prophets are telling you that the Lord has an everlasting kingdom, and it. Oh, let's get it. This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 27, and it says, "And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him." So this right here, it says, this jump back to Daniel chapter 2. It says, let's get it again. It says, "And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints." Okay, so who are the saints? Let's get that real quick. Who are the saints? Uh, Psalms 50 and 5. 50 and 5. It says, "Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice." So, who made a covenant with the Lord by sacrifice? The children of Israel. The children of Israel, the blood was sprinkled on them to enter into the first covenant. But as it stands, when we go back to this Daniel chapter 2 and verse 44, it says, "And in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever." So it's not going to be left to other people because it shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. So these things right here, that have been prophesied to happen in the Old Testament have not happened yet. So these things have to happen. They have to happen, you know, in the end of days, because Jacob's rulership is a never-ending rulership. So is Jacob ruling right now? No, Esau's ruling right now. Esau, and we know that it's Esau because the Lord has given us the eye salve to understand, you know, this is who this man is. I mean, if you can't get that Esau is a so-called white man, then that's on you. But he's going to come down with great wrath, and you're going to find out. You don't have to believe me. Just stick around, and Lord willing, wait around. So, this is Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, but that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." It says, okay, so this is, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come." The day is the day of the Lord that is speaking of, "except there come a falling away first." That means that the children of Israel would have to fall away from their heritage. They would have to fall away from their heritage, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of destruction. Okay, so uh, after or well 70 AD in the legs of iron. That's when the falling away started. This 70 AD, the falling away started in 70 AD, and that man of sin, which was the Romans, which was the Edomites, now he's been revealed who he is, the son of perdition, who who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worship, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. So who else is on the earth doing this? Who else is boasting themselves, saying we don't need the the God of the Bible? That now we have our technology that we can live forever. Who's doing this? Is the so-called Moabite doing this? The Hamite? The the who the who's doing this? It's the so-called white man. He is the son of perdition. But as it states in Second Esdras, he's the end of the world. His blessing was to rule. Let's get that too. Let's get that. You know, Genesis 27. Excuse me. Genesis chapter 27. Mhm. This is Genesis chapter 27 and verse 38. And it says, "And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing? My father bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth." Okay, so that is, he said, what will be the parting of sunder, and what shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. And east for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that followeth. So Esau would have dominion over the earth. That's what it's talking about right here in Genesis 27. It says, And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, but thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So, Esau was going to rule by the sword, and he was going to have dominion because, Esau was in subjection to the Israelites under King David and under uh, uh, the Maccabees. So Esau was they broke the yoke from off of their neck, and then they got the rulership of the earth by way of the sword. So who is the colonizer? Who's the colonizer? Who's the person that goes all around telling everybody what they can do, when they can do it? Who's, dividing up lands, conquering places, discovering places that are already inhabited? Who's doing this? The son of perdition. You know, he's been revealed. He's been revealed. We all know who he is. Esau Edom, the so-called white man. You know, and don't get it wrong, because it's not a black or white thing. Esau is the one that's made it a black or white thing, because he labeled himself as being white, saying that he's pure and holy when he's a piece of shit. Esau is not. He's pink, first of all, and he's the vilest of the earth. I mean, he's the vilest, of the basest man. He's the basest man. But that being said, he's the one that labeled himself white, and then he tried to lump the Israelites in with the Hamites because they're all black, 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 black. Nobody's black. But anyway, there are going to be Israelites looking like every nation under heaven because that was part of the curses being scattered into those other lands. But as it stands, the so-called white man, and his system, he's the 10 toes. He's the 10 toes. And yes, his cousins over in Russia, Edomites as well. But the scriptures state what's going to happen. And it says it over and over and over and over and over again. But I just want to go over Daniel. That's probably the shortest one, where it explains to you these different rulerships, and then it explains that the Lord is going to set up his people, and his people is they're going to rule forever. There's not going to be there's not going to be another kingdom to come up and take the Israelites down, because the Lord said that he's going to set his son up over the kingdom. He said he's going to set his son up. I mean, it's right there. He says a everlasting kingdom. With that being said, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Double honors to our elders and apostles, a great millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Shalom, because we're almost out of here. You can see the prophecies popping off the table, but we ultimately know that the Israelites, the saints, are going to take the kingdom, and they're going to have an everlasting kingdom. And Lord willing, we're of those men for this first dominion. Shalom.